reaction to
The simple answer is I think everyone saw how valuable Ty Webster is to our team tonight. Oh, well, just like the defensive pressure and just having another guy that can get into the paint and create a lot of opportunity for us on offense. When you're playing against a team with that level of physicality, he has a nice presence. And then, if I'm talking about Ty, obviously Windler on the glass as well. So to have two guys out like that, tough. But in saying that, we just didn't show up and play very well tonight.
So you knew both of those guys were obviously going to miss. Why did you think these guys weren't able to recover from their absence?
No, Dylan was we decided today that he wouldn't play, so all week we were preparing that he would get to play. And give them credit, they were missing Daly, so Jack Whitey and Clark come out, with a great purpose and intent with the way they wanted to play the game. So, we just weren't good enough, and it was a disappointing way for us to play tonight.
Obviously short-handed, but you disappointed maybe with the effort on the glass?
Yeah, we sat in here last week and talked about how good that was, and the disparity in the application of it, especially at the offensive end. We had really no presence at the offensive end tonight on the glass. Compared using last week as a comparison, it just wasn't at the same level.
Being down in so many areas that you're normally good at,
yeah.
Were you sort of scratching your head going, why is everyone down at the same time?
It's a team game, and we're disappointed with the way the team performed and the way we performed. I think it just really does show the importance of certain guys on a team out on the floor, and it's just not statistically. It's the juice that those individuals bring. I'll reflect on Ty. He's picking up the ball, he gets a steal or some deflections. The team rallies around that and gets energy. Last week, Windler's all over the glass, and all of a sudden, other guys are joining in. And that's why they're key components of our group, and that's why they're on this roster, is to bring those attributes. And then all of a sudden, when you're asking other guys to do some of those things, and that's not their elite attribute, that's tough, And that's why when you're putting a team together, you're wanting all the pieces out there all the time.
Obviously a tough game last week. You started pretty well. 6 points, 5 rebounds.
Yeah.
In the first quarter, but obviously faded a little bit as the team did. And then what did you make of his sort of overall game and effort?
Look, I'd have to rewatch the film because the score reflects that we weren't very good. But as far as the effort, I just think our execution wasn't as crisp at both ends, the offense and the defense. And then when you start to look at the scoreboard and you get in that mindset where you feel like you got to probably get it moving a little quicker instead of just chipping away. I don't think we had that chip away, let's just get a stop, let's get a score. We're trying to make it happen just too fast, especially in that second quarter.
When did you feel like we were starting to get really on top of you guys from your perspective?
Well, I think JR summed it up pretty well there. I felt like we're, as a group, pretty antsy, trying to get it all back at once. I think that's a pretty fair assessment. Games like that, you just kind of got to chip away, and I feel like we got a bit antsy, and when nothing's going right, it's you're not going to score a 12-point bucket, but you just got to chip away, get a stop, get an O-board, do something positive. But I just felt like we're kind of chasing our tail a bit. And credit to Melbourne, though, they played well and we got pumped by 30, right? Fair call, great job.
Did you feel that they've got sort of focused on themselves rather than the team? Have you been got like that? What are you saying?
No, I wouldn't say that. I just felt like, just lack of a better word, chasing our tail and trying to get it all back at once, which it's tempting to do, but it's the third game in, right? To learn that lesson, hopefully learn that lesson now, is a good thing. And I said, losing sucks, and guys should be hurting, and the fact that we are hurting is a good thing. It means it matters and guys care. So Yeah.
It seemed that that's a really quiet game from Bryson scoring,
Mhm.
and that your score massively down upset as a result. If it happens again, like that, where a team get on top of you, that you haven't got somebody who's necessarily stepping up straight away to shoulder that load, and we've seen others doing it for you.
Yeah.
Pre-season.
Yeah, you know, like the beauty of like someone like a Ben Henschel and Elijah Pepper, they've had some good moments to start the season, so they certainly get the attention of the opposition, so they can't sneak up any longer. You know, so using those two as an example, they're playing against some, like a veteran backcourt, like you're talking about Olympians, guys that have played for their national teams, an NBA champion. So now they have a bit better understanding of what that level is. So I think they'll be better prepared and understand what that's about. Because we can talk about that type of thing, but until you get the experience in those moments, it's really hard to replicate. Like, tell me one other team in the NBL that has, although we didn't play Delhi, but Shaili, New Zealand, Golding, multiple Olympics medalist, Ian Clark, NBA champion. Like, you're playing against some legit players, so for those young players to go against those guys, like, a great experience to understand what a championship level is all about.
It's a quick turnaround. I mean, how difficult will it be to sort of regroup? What makes you think it's positive that there's a game coming up against?
Well, you would think you can't play that bad 2 in a row. You know, like it's, you go into Tassie, you know, you understand what that environment is, so the mental preparation as well as the physical preparation becomes key. Like, they're in the same boat as us, so they're traveling in to play on Sunday, so probably the team that applies and gets himself ready to bounce back the quickest will have the best chance of winning that game.
Why apply? Any chance of having Dylan? Do you rate?
Yeah, like Dylan is like day to day. It's an Achilles, some type of Achilles injury that just flares up, and when that happens, it just gets a bit sore. And we're like this early stage in the season, we're very mindful about that.
You lose like that, and you got the 2 flights to Tassie and losing hours and all that sort of stuff. It's a long day. Will that impact your ability to what you would have liked to have done in terms of getting on board again to prepare in some sort of way?
No, we would have, win or lose, we embrace the same thing. We approach it the same way. Yep. Cheers.